You ever felt that life is just a simulation? Well, in the world of Yokai Watch, that might actually just be reality. You see, Hinozall is essentially God, and he can just do whatever he wants. In his intro cutscene, he literally codes downtown Springdale into existence. So, there's no telling what is real and what is just puppeteered by Hinozall. However, we are able to control Hinozall thanks to the plus plus mod. Now, I usually just get right into like showing the character, but a lot of people have asked me how to get these characters, so I'll show this guy off real quick, and I'll start doing this at the start. So in order to get Hinozall, you need to fight Lunar Hinozall, a new difficulty in the plus plus mod above Ultra. In order to access this, after you beat Ultra Hinozall, and I think it's rank 20, you get it. You have the ability to access Lunar Hinozall. Now you have to bring a Moonstone in order to challenge him. However, he is more on the RCC side, which kind of sucks. But if you get WDS, and you get first prize, chance up and you get it, you get a Moonstone, which is worth 300,000 Oni Orbs, which is pretty useful because the easiest way to get a Moonstone is to come down here to Dimmy, as long as you got like a rank 3 shop, I think. Go over here to Materials, and then it's just a couple up, the Moonstone right here. Very easy to just come here, get one of them, and then boom. And as long as you've got like a ton of insignia, you'll easily be able to buy a Moonstone and, cool stuff like that. So Hinozall is one of the coolest yokai here. He is an S-rank fighter yokai of the Shady Tribe. He's incredibly powerful, and his stats reflect that. He has a base HP stat of... that's the wrong one, hang on. He has a base HP stat of 435, a base strength stat of 155, which is completely useless because none of his moves are physical. He has a base spirit stat of 255, which is very good, and a base defense stat of 175, and is of the slow speed tier. His skill is CEO's Gift. All allies get 5% spirit as long as he just exists, which is very easy because he's very good at not dying. His basic attack is Inspiration Strikes. Inspiration Strike is a 50 base power, 1 second cooldown move that hits far away. It's very useful and a very nice addition to his kit because overall, Hinozall has some very, very powerful moves. His first learnable move is Shocking Idea. This is a 160 base power move that stuns the enemy for a little bit no matter what. As long as you can damage the enemy, Shocking Idea will stun them. It is so powerful, in fact, it can even stop Hinozall himself from doing Mysterious Barrier, making that fight so much faster. It has 13 seconds of cooldown and gives 30 soul meter when hit. So, very nice and very powerful as a great utility move. You should always be running this. His second learnable move is Do Not Disturb. This is just a flavor text recolor of Invincible Stance, where you become invincible for 5 seconds and it has a 20-second cooldown. Now, Hinozall actually has a much better way to get invincibility frames that also gives him other benefits, so I wouldn't really recommend running this move. Even though the setup I'm running would allow you to be able to spam this move, it's really just not that good considering everything else Hinozall has access to. His third learnable move is Voltage. This is a 60 base power, but 200 base power when you charge it. Lightning move, which is pretty strong. I mean, it's nice. It's got 3 seconds of cooldown, but when charged, it's only 2.5. Gives 12 soul meter uncharged, 40 soul meter charged, and it has a 2.5 second charge time. Now, even though he's got another chargeable move, I wouldn't really recommend running this one, and the other one doesn't really need to be charged, so a Robani on 28 soul just doesn't really work for him in my opinion. But speaking of, that fourth learnable move is Blockbuster Beam. This is a 4-hit, 50 base power per hit move, but when charged it has 100 base power, with 13 seconds of cooldown and gives 12 soul meter per hit, whether it's charged or not. So really, there's not really a reason to charge this move, especially because a weird little quirk about it is that at the start of the fight, if this is like your first attack, it just won't target the enemy. So, there's just never really a reason to charge this move, especially with the setup I'm rocking. His ultimate is Power Nap. Power Nap, it says it has 100 power, but it is a self-buff and heal move. Basically, once you use this, you'll gain invincibility frames, fully heal yourself, and give a huge stat buff. The stats he buffs himself with specifically, actually I can go find this. The buffs he gives is 25% attack, which is like both his strength and spirit stat. So really, since he only uses his spirit stat, that's just 25% spirit. 175% defense, 20% movement speed and 50% move meter speed for 30 seconds. So he becomes incredibly powerful, fully heals himself, becomes a tank, gets faster, and gets even more move meter charge the more you spam this ultimate. Which segues perfectly into his kit that I want to run. You know, the whole equipment thing. For equipment, I'm running the Zazzle's Agate Ring. This is a 280 spirit, 70 defense equip that boosts soul meter charge by 50%. Now, his soul meter has a charge needed of 300, so a 300 gauge. So cut that in half by 50, and now, by 50%, and now it only takes a few voltages and shocking ideas in order, not voltages, a few shocking ideas and blockbuster beams to get his ultimate. And then once I get his ultimate, I'll be able to get those moves faster, which works really well in conjunction with the Cicada Soul. In case you do not know how to get this thing and don't know how broken it is, watch my video. But TLDR, you fuse a Catable and Cicada Soul together, and you get this. You get move meter speed as you attack, and as long as there's not more than 5 seconds between your attacks, you will get more and more recharge, up to like maybe 60% recharge, I don't know. You get something crazy. But essentially, Hinozall is able to stun the enemy with Shocking Idea, use Blockbuster Beam to inflict the little stun animation again, while dealing crazy damage, getting his ultimate up to heal himself and buff himself, and provide support to the team, well, by, you know, attacking the boss and stopping them from doing anything, while also doing some of the highest DPS in the game. This character is actually ridiculous. For support characters, I'm bringing Princess Pearl with Paradise and Fishy Fishy Heal. And for equipment, I'm bringing the Moonlit Cat Bauble just for some bulk, and the Frost Tail Soul to increase spirit by 10% for 15 seconds after you get a heal. So anytime she does a heal, she's going to be buffing up my spirit by 20%, which is very nice. And with my CEO's gift, that is 25%. And with my ultimate, that is 50% spirit. Let me remind you, the cap for strength and spirit buffs is 100%, so we're already halfway there, purely by existing. And so, it would be kind of ridiculous to bring more characters, and for the other character I want to bring for this, like, talk about in this video, I don't really want to bring him here. I want to have them separate. So I am instead bringing him Kata, who's giving me 10% more move meter just to get it off the ground. And, you know, I never use this guy. He's also a healer, he's got Storm, you know, cool stuff like that. Pretty nice. And then we have Rosetta Stone, who heals all allies just by existing, has Striking Granite and Damage the Spot just cuz, and then the Moonlit Cat Bauble and Tattletale Soul just to have passive healing. Really, these two are kind of just like randoms. The only character that's like really super important is Princess Pearl here because of that huge buff, and she's just a healer. So, with all that said, why don't we take a look at just how broken Hinozall really is, because oh my lord is he crazy. So to start, we are fighting Shogun King, one of the hardest bosses in the game, and we're going to just turn him not difficult at all. So as you can see, I've already got half my ultimate, and the fight literally just started. And our damage is kind of going crazy. With a little bit of stun, a little bit of that, I already have my ultimate, and I am invincible. As you can see, 87 damage. That 70% defense from my equip is 100% making a very impactful difference. Now, as you can see, we're kind of taking a little bit of damage, but it's whatever, because now I can just heal it all back, and now I am invincible again. Get a nice stun, get a gratitude beam, and as you can see, our moves are coming back incredibly quickly. Now, sadly, he is going to hide away like a bum, but it's whatever. I'll just have, what's his face right here? Rosetta Stone do that for damage to the spot, just so that way they don't take any damage. Now we're going to get a stun off, get this off, and now get off the ultimate for even more movement. More movement, more move meter, you know, cool stuff like that. Get that off, and as you can see, we just do like 1,000 damage every time while also stunning the boss and stopping him from hurting my allies, which is very impactful. So we can get another buff off. Very, very nice. Get this stun off. Get this off. And just kind of keep up a loop like this. Hinozall is one of the most reliable characters in the game. Now, sadly, as you could see, we were not able to keep up the damage, which does kind of suck. Even though like I could target him, I couldn't shocking idea him. So we're going to make sure that we can get these ones down. Hinozall's pretty good for this, especially with that stun. The stun is actually so strong, it can stop the lost souls from doing anything, which is pretty funny. I definitely do like playing Hinozall. He's one of those characters where you're just like, all right, I'm tired of losing to this boss. I gotta lock in. Hinozall is definitely one of the best choices to make any boss sit down and behave. So with just a little bit more power, we're gonna buff myself up, stun him some more, and yeah, we could essentially just force Shogun King, to just play dead. You know, you ever taught your cat how to? I mean, you don't normally teach like dogs to play dead, so we can tell him to stop that. If I was faster and paid attention, we could stop him from doing that. I don't want to get hit by that, so I'm going to shocking idea. If I was like paying attention and like not trying to show off, I wouldn't have even lost my getaway plush right there. But as you can see, it took 2 pogo swords to just do that, and I didn't even have my ultimate buff ready, I don't think. So now we're going to gratitude beam, just because shocking idea, while it does stun, it doesn't inflict like the chance like type stun. Now we're gonna get the stun off. Gonna get off a gratitude beam. I'm gonna get this dodge. Get my nice Omni boost. Get a stun, except I missed. Well, kind of whatever. And now we're just going to switch back to... What's his face? Rosetta Stone. And then we're just going to, like, honestly, we're just going to, like, ultimate. So we're going to ultimate with Rosetta Stone. It takes so long to come down that it's actually proper to time it like that. And as you can see, that was pretty free. Like, no one died. I mean, I kind of died, but that was just from my own incompetence. And, like, this team is, like, I mean, this team's good, but it's not, like, meta-defining. Really, it's just Hinozall doing all the work. So, yeah, definitely get yourself a Hinozall. He's very strong, in case you could not tell. So next up, we got that weird glitch again. Shoutouts if you know what that kind of glitch is. Where the UI just, like, disappears. For some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I just got pinged. Like, I was pinged for something stupid that I don't feel like answering. So anyways, Golden Claws. One of the hardest bosses, in my opinion, because, like... Mainly because of this ultimate. Like... It's not that it's, like, difficult to dodge, it's just that the computers don't know what to do. And so you kind of just get left in the dust, because all your teammates are dead. Kind of a pain, but, I mean, it's whatever. Gonna get some of that. And as you can see, I already have half my soul meter. So, very worth it to just go out of your way, just to make sure you can get this. Because, yeah. Sorry, I'm playing Dokkan while I'm doing this. We'll get a nice fishy heal. So that way we can have a nice buff. And we're going to start off the fight by standing on the white square. Get a shocking idea. Get a stun. And... Oh, I got a... Inspiration strikes. And now we got my ultimate. Do some of this. He's gonna sit on me. I'm gonna tell him to get off me. And as you can see, it's so fast. So fast to get this. I could have even brought, like, a different soul. Like, I don't know which... Maybe... Is there even a soul that buffs, ally soul meter speed? I didn't bring a character that did that. Because that would make this seem even more broken than it is. And, like, as you can see, Ultra Golden Claws sitting on me. Did 114. Usually that's a pretty deadly move. But... Didn't really do much for me now. So now we're going to get another power nap. And as you can see, we just spam this, like, very easily. I don't want you to summon your cat and let them go deal with it. So, Safignon. Get another stun. to just stop him from changing the board, which is a very nice thing that you can do as Hinozall. Stop him from changing the board, because it's very annoying. If he gets in the way, just power nap. Do this. Oh, get a nice shocking idea. You see that nice little movement speed buff? It's crazy. Get another stun. Get another this. Very nice. Get another one of these. Let them deal with Eminion. Get another stun. Get another Gratitude Beam. No, that's the other one. No, wait. This is Blockbuster Beam. Yep. Oh, get that nice stun. Get this. Get this stun. I get a little bit of damage. Nice, nice, nice. Got that dodge ready just in case. You know, it's very, very easy to just keep stunning the boss. Very nice. Nice little crit right there. No crit support, I don't think. Yeah, definitely not. So, a cool thing is that because I have my Sultimate, I can kind of just wait a little bit, because I don't need to do it right now. Go over here. Go over here. Over here. And get a nice heal. Barely missed it. Now I can Sultimate. Power nap through the rest of it. And we're good. Now I know that this looks pretty dire, but yeah, it's not that bad. Just get this off. Get the stun. Get this. You know what? Let's see if I can win without having to rely on allies. Get the stun. And get this full power heal. Yeah. Get this off. If only Gratitude Beam had an AoE, then it would be actual peak. Get a nice heal. Summon another cat, of course. Get more stuns. Wait for him to do that. Definitely shouldn't have done this. But it's whatever. Get a nice stun. Probably dropped combo, but I mean, it's whatever. Oh, great. He's doing this again. Ah, whatever. That's them dealt with very easily. A good strat is to start moving in a direction once the fire, like, starts coming. Just so that way you're always prepared. Get this. Get this. As you can see, I'm pretty easily going to be able to, like, handle this. Like, it's not going to be that bad. Dodge this. That's why you got to keep your Sultimate active, ready at all times. Get this. Very powerful. And with just a little bit more push, we should be able to win with not much struggle. The hardest part was, like, doing the Sultimate again, and that wasn't really that bad. So yeah, even though all of my allies died, which is why this fight gets so hard, because they just, like, start dying, because they don't know what to do. But we still won. I mean, like, I only lost one getaway plush, and I mean, I did that against Shogun King, so... Is it really that hard? I don't know. Hinozall is really just that good. So why don't we get into talking about the next yokai? So you know how we had Lunar Hinozall? Now we have Lunar Hinozall Awoken. Now, in the Party of the Dead update at least, it's very easy to be able to start fighting Lunar Hino Awoken. You don't need a Moonstone. You actually just need this little tag thing that you can find in the white, or like the shop with the insignia. So you got the Barrier Blaster, which is very nice against the Hinozall bosses. And then here you have both the Swirlious Omai, Red Paws, and their golden variants have their Ultra Orbs. Then you got this one, the Innovative Tag. For 500 insignia, you can use this tag to prove your worthiness to the creator of the universe. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. There's all these cool coins and stuff. Why don't we go ahead and test normal Hinozall against harder than Ultra Lunar Hino Awoken. Lunar Hinozall Awoken. The coolest boss in town. So we're going to stun him, so that way he takes a little bit longer. We can start buffing up stuff. And now he's going to do emergency meeting. It's not going to matter if my allies get rid of them, because I have the gun item. And I can also just stun him and stop him from doing whatever he wants. Now I can do this self-buff. Dodge that cool punch because we're just built different. Get a shock right here. Stop the keyboard crash. Very nice. Very powerful character. Get another shock. You can even stop him from summoning these little guys just in general, which is pretty cool. Get another shock. Get another one of these. There's a tickle in my throat and I can't stop it. It's kind of annoying. Get another shock. Stop him from teleporting first. And as you can see, this harder than Ultra boss really just can't do anything to us, which is pretty cool. I like it. I like being able to shut down bosses and stop them from hurting my allies. It makes me feel powerful. So the item we're looking for from Lunar Hinozall Awoken, it'd be really peak if I could actually like get it as a drop for this. But we're looking for the Creator's Crown, I think it is. It is actually a fusion item. Oh crap, there's Gilgaros. That's why I didn't have them set to target leader, because I don't feel like dealing with Gilgaros, and I'll just let them do it. A nice little dodge right there. Very cool. Stop the gratitude beam. I mean, it's still gonna go because he started it, but like, get another one of these shocks. Get another one of these. And now we're gonna wait for him to do Mysterious Barrier, because now we can just stop him. Stop him from doing it entirely, which really speeds up this fight. As you can see, his gratitude beam just doesn't even do anything to us. It's just incredibly powerful what Hinozall is able to do to stop these bosses. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but credit to Robo Redstone, I think is his name. He commented on this and pointed that out. I'll make sure to actually like mention it in the description, because I forgot to mention it earlier. But I'm glad he told me that, because, well, glad they told me that. I don't know. Preferred stuff, you know, all that. So we're able to stop Hinozall. Stop him again. Thankfully. Oh, he's trying again? Yeah, guess what? I don't want you to. That's another thing that makes this just so good. We could just stop Hinozall from Mysterious Barriering. Get another shock. Get another this. Get a Sultimate, just because I know he's going to try to punch me. Doesn't matter if I miss that. Now I'm just going to get healed by Princess Pearl. Get another keyboard crash. Time it a little bit just so that way I can potentially get this. Did I drop combo? I might have. I don't know. Wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, just wait. Get the nice shocking idea. Hinozall's very good. Oh no, Princess Pearl. It's because of the veteran. The veteran is just incredibly tedious to deal with. Get that off. Get a nice power nap. And now, get another shock. And that's it. So yeah, Hinozall is one of the best options against Hinozall Awoken, because you could just stop the hardest part of the phase. Just stop it from happening. Super duper nice. So like I said, there's an actual really important drop that we do want to get, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I put on a sure jackpot aura, because I mean it's more on the WDS side, so hopefully I can get it, because that'd be really, really cool for the video, and of course not, but whatever. Okay. maybe I have one in my reserves. So once you get it, you go to Yokai, go to Fusion, pick Hinozall, and go to your items. Oh, I do have one here. Do I have an extra Hinozall, or do I have to like do a save state to show this? Yeah, I'll just save state real quick. Yes, I'm on an emulator. I save state sometimes. So by fusing Hinozall and the Creator's Crown, spending 10,000 Oni Orbs, can you guess Can you guess what we get with this fusion item from Hinozall Awoken and regular Hinozall? We get Hinozall Awoken.
Hinozall Awoken, the coolest boss in town.
And Hinozall Awoken is not quite as good in my opinion, but he's still really good. So Hinozall Awoken is an S-rank fighter yokai of the Shady Trap, just like normal Hinozall. However, his stats are actually quite a bit better. So he has an HP stat of 480 compared to Hinozall's 435, a base strength stat of 140, which again is useless, but it's actually lower than normal Hinozall's, which is interesting. A base spirit stat of 305, which is the highest in the entire game, and a base defense stat of 185, which is 10 higher than Hinozall. His skill is CEO's Blessing. All allies get 10% spirit at the cost of 5% strength. So purely by having both Hinozall and Hino Awoken on the team, all allies get 15% spirit. Let me remind you, the cap is 100%. So you get a good chunk of your spirit gauge, just a spirit buff, just by having these two on the team. And since Hinozall has the highest spirit stat in the game, and spoiler, has a really good kit, he's very powerful and 100% a character that you're going to want to run on a team. His basic attack is Hinozall Heart and Soul. This is just Inspiration Strike. So 50 base power, 1 second of cooldown, and gives like, what, 10 soul meter? It's good, obviously. So just flavor text to make it unique. His first learnable move is Gratitude Beam. This is just Blockbuster Beam, but different. So remember, 50 base power, 4 hits, 100 base power if you charge it, gives 12 soul meter per hit, and has a 13-second cooldown. Actually, no. Wait, yeah, it is. I just read the wrong thing. My bad. So his next learnable move is Mysterious Barrier. This is a reskin of Ultra Force Field, where all nearby allies become invincible for 2 seconds, and it has a 10-second cooldown. If you run the setup I'm going to be running, you can like spam this, and it's a little bit more useful since you're, helping your allies. But Hinozall spamming Shocking Idea is just more powerful in my opinion, so I wouldn't recommend running this, and I would just let normal Hinozall handle that. His third learnable move is Multi-In-Spirit Boost. It is a 10% attack buff, which is both strength and spirit, a 70% defense buff, 8% speed, 20% move meter for 15 seconds, and if you hold it, which has a 1 second charge time, it makes it an AoE, which buffs allies, and it has a 35-second cooldown. This is just like a worse version of your Ultimate, so it'd honestly just be better to build a kit that just works around your Ultimate rather than trying to use this move. His fourth learnable move is where he both gets better and worse than Hinozall. His fourth learnable move is God's Wave, a 200 base power move with a 5-second cooldown and gives 20 soul meter when it hits. Now this is a really strong move, and since it's only 5 seconds of cooldown, it's very powerful. It's literally half of Mighty Attack, but just with none of the drawbacks. The problem is that he no longer has Shocking Idea. And while his spirit stat is quite a bit higher, as you can see, he's got 583 spirit. But if I go over here to my normal Hinozall, the spirit stat is just like way lower. Like 282, add 280. Let me see what that is. Because it was 252. 252 plus 280. He only had 532 spirit, so he's losing 50% spirit. Which actually isn't all that bad in all honesty. You see, the thing is, stats are based on a system called diminishing returns. Your first 100 defense is incredibly valuable. Your next 100 defense is also pretty valuable. But the higher you go, the less of an impact your stats make. And so even though Hinozall Awoken has 50 more spirit, because it's up in the 500s, it's not that big a deal. I mean, obviously, Hino Awoken still does more damage, but it's not to such a degree where regular Hinozall just falls behind. And because of the utility of Shocking Idea, I personally think normal Hino is just a little bit better. But Hinozall Awoken is still very good. And speaking of, his ultimate is Power Blink. It's basically just the same thing. You heal, get stat buffs, 300 soul meter needed. I'm running the same kit here. However, because he doesn't have Shocking Idea, you have more options than this. I keep, hiccuping. You have more options than just the Agate Ring and the Cicada Soul. For example, you can bring the Moon God Wand and give all allies 15% spirit by yourself, If you have 2 Hino Awokens, then all allies get 30% spirit. If you have a Princess Pearl on the team, anytime she heals, they have 50% spirit. He's pretty dang good. So that's nice. On top of that, you can just build like a bulky set if you want to, with like one of the baubles, since his spirit stat is so unreasonably high. As you can see here, I'm trading 50%, no, just 50 spirit in general for 150 more defense, and get this, he gets to 801 HP. He's basically unkillable. Once he does his ultimate, he is literally unkillable. Yeah, Hinozall Awoken is very, very strong. For souls, I'm running Cicada Soul again. You can run something different. You can run like crit damage, crit rate. You can make him like a crit attacker if you want to, because he's just attacking so much with the gratitude beam and stuff. You can make him more support based. You can give him like, there's a lot of stuff you can do. But I'm going to bring you running this because I want to spam God's Wave. I want to spam it as much as I can. So why don't we just go to a boss that, or just go to a ton of bosses that don't really move that much, so that way I can annihilate them. So here we have Robonyan 3000. He's very strong. Now the only problem is that God's Wave is kind of a close-up move, but doesn't really matter when it does 650 damage per hit. So the more you can get this attack off, the better off you'll be. So get one of these, get one of these, get this, get the nice ultimate buff, and get crazy recharge. So as you can see, we can just keep on eviscerating this guy, doing just the most unreasonable damage ever. This isn't even like crit based, we're just doing this much damage. Now sadly, he does fly away, so I will drop combo, but it'll be whatever, because now I can just do this, and I can do another God's Wave, and just sort of shred through the Robonyan family, because I hate these guys. Shred through him again, hit him, shred through him again. You don't even need Gratitude Beam, honestly, so you could actually run something like Invincible Stance, and just spam God's Wave. It's so funny. Like, it's actually just the most unreasonable DPS ever. Oh no, I'm almost dead. So now I'm going to buff myself, and now I'm fine. it's kind of, there's no boss that like can survive the sheer onslaught of God's Wave. So we're gonna get this nice charge, get God's Wave, and now he's just dead. So yeah, Hinozall Awoken is a very powerful DPS character. And as long, if I had someone that was just playing like normal Hinozall, or even, God forbid, a Styx Mark 6, because they'd be stunned for such a long time, I would be able to do too much damage. It would be broken. Golden. Heck yeah. Anyways, Swirlious Gold is a lot easier than Golden Claws, mainly because his ultimate is just pathetic comparatively. Like, it actually just does nothing. I don't know why I picked that up. I have max Oni Orbs. I forgot to switch them out. But, anyways, God's Wave is really strong. So, we're going to be able to just do some crazy damage. He's actually too strong, so we can't farm as much soul meter as we could before, but we'll be fine. Oh no, I'm not perfectly on Hinozall, whatever. So we'll get this nice little bit of stunning, nice God's Wave. Get some of that. Oh no, he caught me at a bad time. How bad? Get a nice one of these. Get a God's Wave. I think I missed, so ignore that God's Wave. That was just a bad example. Another God's Wave, and as you can see, we can just keep spamming this move. Now we can Gratitude Beam. God's Wave actually just has, like, kind of a weirdly long animation, so you can't spam it as much as you would want to. But, I mean, it still works, like, really well, obviously. Oh, no. Yeah, because I can't, like, spam it as well as I want. It's just... I mean, it's doing, like, crazy DPS, but I'm always, like, stuck in a weird situation. But as you can see, when it does hit, it does 1,000 damage. Which is pretty crazy when I get all my buffs going. So now we can do this. I'm trying to avoid getting the Great Orbs because those are kind of just really powerful. And so, I don't want to use it. Oh no! Whatever. It's fine. It'll be fine. Because he should still have his ultimate. Yep. And now I can just buff myself. And all that pain goes away. So now we can do this. Yeah, it's just not quite as mobile as I would like. And I mean, Hinozall normal, it just isn't that mobile. But because he's stunning the enemy for half the battle, it doesn't feel as bad. So, I do think Hinozall Awoken is obviously still incredibly great. He's definitely one of the best yokai in the game, just period. However, he can't carry a battle like normal Hinozall can, in my opinion, so we're going to go behind. This is where the damage is going to get crazy. We're going to be able to do this. Now we're going to be able to God's Wave, Hinozall Heart and Soul, God's Wave, Heart and Soul, God's Wave, Gratitude Beam, God's Wave, shoot this, God's Wave, and he's dead. So yeah, if you just bring a little bit of support, like a normal Hinozall or Styx Mark 6, Hino Awoken is going to shred through any boss's HP. So, why don't we do that? Why don't we just bring a full, like, support? We got, like, Hinozall, Hino Awoken, Styx Mark 6, and Princess Pearl. What I think is probably the best team in the game. Well, one of the best teams in the game. One of the most consistent teams. If they were to bring a whole new boss where we know nothing about, that's the team I'm going to be bringing. So for my equipment, I'm actually going to be bringing, what am I going to bring? It'd be nice if they gave Hinozall a unique equip. I have no idea what they would, like, have it do, but I think it'd just be fun. We'll bring the Moon God Wand, sure, to buff everyone's damage. Princess Pearl is going to stay. Gonna take these equips off. I've actually, like, cleaned out a bunch of my box. So that way, like, a lot of characters don't even have, like, equips now. So that way I can just, like, find them easily. We're gonna have normal Hinozall. I guess I don't really need him to be able to do his ultimate very often. So, sure. We'll also give him one of my Cicada Souls. I got 3 right now. Probably need to go get more. Then for this, we could also give him one of these. Sure. Rosetta Stone, we'll go ahead and take off. In place for the most overtuned yokai in the game, aside from, like, friggin', what is his name? Emperor Sapion. The most overtuned yokai is Emperor Sapion. But second place is very clearly Styx Mark 6. This one's got higher spirit. This one has 1 higher spirit. So we're gonna bring him. For his equip, it's going to be not this one. It's going to be this one, the Plasma Launcher. And then he also wants a Cicada Soul, but someone else has mine. I need to go find it. So this is what I think the best team in the game is for, like, casual play. You have, like, instead of, like, a Moon God Wand, I'd give Hinozall Awoken, like, a bauble. And then Hinozall, I'd give him the Agate Ring. And then instead of the Frosttail Soul, I'd give her the Elder Bloom Soul, and Styx is just broken. Honestly, you play Styx Mark 6. And you can give normal Hinozall a bauble, so... Yeah, this team is a very strong. Spirit Attackers are incredibly fun to play in this game. Because, like, they just have so much support. It's very broken. While Whipped Cream may not be a very difficult boss, he is a good little boy and sits in place so I can bully him. So, I appreciate it. I would really, really like a boss that doesn't really move that much. Mainly just, like, I just want, like, a sandbag boss that I can just, like, test DPS on. That would be incredibly fun. But, let's go ahead and get started. So I can go ahead and show off here that... Oh, Gratitude Beam does work. Maybe it's just a Blockbuster Beam that doesn't work too well. But as you can see, the damage is unreasonable, to say the least. So we'll get this off. Get that stun off. He landed on the zap trap. So get this. Get this. Get this. Ultimate buff. And now the craziness begins. Yeah, if this doesn't sound crazy, I don't know what sounds crazy to you, because this is pretty ridiculous. So incredibly strong. Doesn't even matter that I take damage because I have Princess Pearl to heal it all back up. Oh no, Stixmark 6 fainted. Not even gonna matter. Gonna do another ultimate buff just cuz. Get Gratitude Beam and God's Wave just to kill. Kill those little guys. Get one of these. Get this. Hit two of them. God's Wave. Gratitude Beam. God's Wave. Heart and Soul. God's Wave. Heart and Soul. God's Wave. Gratitude Beam. God's Wave. Heart and Soul. Heart and Soul. God's Wave. Heart and Soul. God's Wave. Gratitude Beam. Yeah, it's a very ridiculous. And then we kill these little cream puffs because I hate them. Get a nice buff. Get one of these. If that stupid little thing would stop, that'd be great. But yeah, as you can see, this damage is pretty ridiculous. This is like the tankiest boss in the game, by the way. This boss is supposed to take a little while. And he's taking a little bit. Not nearly as fast as when I was playing Stixmark 6 solo, because the computer just keeps dying, I think. But I mean, if you had like a normal player, this boss would be like instantly dead. And there we go. It took one getaway push because I stopped caring. And I didn't use any of their ultimates either, so we could have gotten it even faster. So yes, I think both Hinozalls are incredibly good. I need to get a pose with them both. I think both Hinozalls are incredibly fun. They're some of the best characters in the entire game because their kits are maybe a little overtuned. Maybe just a little bit. They're very strong. I mean, it's deserved. It's the god of the yokai world. Hino and Hino Awoken. I find it funny that his friend form is one of the best yokai in the game, because they were like, let's give him Troubled Waters. A 10-hit vortex move. I don't know if that was the proper play, but it was a good one. God's Wave. It does 900 damage every time he does that. The Fisherman's Fist. Boat on a river. My combo might have dropped, I don't know. And my God's Wave can't reach him, sadly. Whatever. Yeah, come here, boy. $1,400? Are you kidding me? Now we're blinking. Gratitude Beam. God's Wave. God's Wave. Oh. I couldn't get the kill before. I don't know who did 1,600 there. Okay, we go this way. Watch out, Zazzle. Oh no. Oh no. What happened? Everyone died. Come on. God's wave, go. And God's wave. Let me just blink in front of him. Purple jump scare. Yay! The Hinozalls are broken. They're so easy to play, and they're so powerful, too. I love them. The only problem is they're too big to fit out of the door in a reasonable time. So there we have it. The CEO of everything, both in his normal form and his awoken form. His awoken form is a very, very powerful DPS character. However, I think his normal form is a little bit better because he's both a great DPS, but also an amazing utility character. And he also can be run with physical attackers without debuffing them by a little bit. So, get them both, honestly, because they're both great. And then you can build a team like this. I think this is the best team in the game. So, you should definitely try to get it. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you good luck on getting these characters. Yeah. Bye.